The power didn't just fail. It vanished, like the world took one long, shaking breath and forgot to exhale. In the sudden silence, the refrigerator sighs into death. The hum of modern life evaporates. Screens dim. Signals flicker. Darkness settles in with the slow confidence of something that has waited a very long time. And then the real question descends, heavy, cold, unavoidable. How ready are you, really? Because when the lights die, something else wakes up. The realization that preparation was never about fear. It was about survival in a world that can collapse without warning. This is a journey through 11 items, not gadgets, not luxuries, but lifelines. Tools that separate those who endure the blackout with calm precision from those who sit in the dark whispering, "Why didn't I prepare?" These are not theories. These are the cornerstones of practical survival, tested in storms, in outages, in the quiet terror of a night without power. So let the darkness speak. And listen closely, because every item in this list becomes essential the moment the grid goes silent. 1. Water storage, the first line between comfort and crisis. When electricity dies, water reliability dies with it. City pressure drops. Wells shut down instantly. Treatment plants falter. What once flowed from the tap without thought becomes a questionable trickle at best. 1 gallon per person per day. That number gets thrown around like a comfortable guideline. But that is not comfort. That is survival on the razor's edge. Water isn't just for drinking. It's for cooking, cleaning, washing, sanity. And when outages stretch from hours into days, every drop becomes a negotiation. Durable, food-grade containers, 5-gallon jugs, become the backbone of resilience. Thick-walled, leak-proof, cool, dark storage, rotated or replaced as needed. The rule is simple. Fill them now. Not later. Not when the storm is named. Not when the news is panicking. Now. Because shelves empty in hours. Preparation empties slowly. But it fills life with peace. 2. Power banks. Because communication dies long before food runs out. A phone becomes everything in a blackout. Light, information, connection, safety. But without power, a phone is only a dead glass rectangle cooling in your hand. So redundancy becomes strategy. Small power banks for mobility. Larger ones for multi-day outages. Packed, charged, tested, rotated. Not one. Multiple. Because when towers overload and networks choke, messages take longer. Screens stay on longer. Batteries drain faster. And in the dark, a dead phone is not an inconvenience. It is a vulnerability. The rule is simple. Keep them charged, keep them accessible, keep them ready. A blackout is the wrong time to discover a frayed cable or a battery that stopped holding capacity months ago. 3. LED flashlights and headlamps. Light that works when the world doesn't. Candles set mood. They also set houses on fire. What survival demands is clarity. Clean, bright, reliable LED light. Flashlights in every room. Not hidden. Not stored somewhere. Ready. But headlamps. Headlamps are evolution. Hands-free. Where you look, light follows. Cooking, repairing, navigating. All possible without juggling tools in the dark. Brightness matters. Battery type matters. Durability matters. Spare batteries matter. One overlooked detail becomes the difference between control and chaos. 4. Emergency radios. When the world goes quiet, this is the voice that remains. When the grid collapses, information collapses with it. Internet dies. Cell towers overload or lose power. News feeds go silent. What remains? Radio. Weather alerts. Emergency instructions. Evacuation updates. Road closures. Water advisories. A radio with hand crank power, solar backup, battery options, and weather channels becomes one of the most underrated survival tools ever made. 1 minute of cranking for 20 minutes of communication. Primitive. Yes. But in a blackout, primitive becomes priceless. 5. Non-perishable food you will actually eat. Emergency food shouldn't feel like punishment. Morale collapses faster than nutrition. The darkest part of a blackout isn't the absence of electricity. It's the absence of comfort. Foods that open easily, eat easily, digest easily. Canned meats. Canned fruit. Crackers. jerky, oatmeal, nut butter, bars, mixes, snacks that don't require fire to be edible. Rule of survival. If it's disgusting on a normal day, it will be unbearable in a crisis. Food is fuel. But it's also sanity. And in darkness, sanity keeps you alive. 6. A manual can opener, the smallest item with the biggest consequences. This is where many fail. Shelves full of canned food. And no way to open them. Electric openers are useless. Kitchen hacks injure. Sharp tools slip in the dark. A simple manual opener becomes one of the most critical pieces of metal in a blackout. Cheap, functional, reliable, and worth having multiples of. Sometimes survival is not about grand strategy. It's about refusing to overlook the obvious. 7. A portable camping stove, because cold food breaks people. Cold meals drain morale. Cold meals weaken the body. Cold meals can quickly turn a blackout from uncomfortable to unbearable. A small propane or butane stove turns the tide. Boiling water, warming soup, cooking real food, lifting spirits. Hot meals warm hands, lungs, courage. A warm stomach breeds resilience. But stoves bring responsibility. They belong outdoors or in ventilated spaces. Never inside closed rooms. Survival isn't just staying alive. It's staying alive wisely. 8. A real first aid kit and backup medications. Outages isolate. Roads close. Stores shut. Pharmacies go offline. Hospitals overload. The world becomes far away even when it's only a mile down the road. Gauze, tape, gloves, pain relievers, anti-diarrheals, allergy meds, thermometers, bandages, more than you think. And for those who require them, backup prescriptions stored properly. A month of medication can be the thin barrier between stability and danger. In every disaster, hygiene issues spike. Injury rates climb. Illness spreads. A first aid kit becomes a shield. And shields belong ready, not buried under clutter. 9. Cash, because digital money dies before the lights do. In a blackout, digital currency becomes theoretical. Cards fail. POS systems blink out. ATMs freeze. Apps crash. No power means no transactions. Cash becomes king again. Not for wealth, but for survival. Small bills secure small necessities. Water, ice, snacks, fuel. $100 in the wrong denominations is useless. $10 in singles becomes power. The rule is simple. Split it. Store it. Forget it. Until the moment you're glad you remembered. 10. Water filtration. When stored water runs out, survival begins. Stored water is finite. Blackouts are not. When taps stop, when supplies shrink, when bottles empty, filtration becomes the bridge between dehydration and endurance. Tablets kill pathogens. Filters remove contaminants. Boiling purifies. Rainwater, streams, questionable taps, even water heaters. All become sources if handled correctly. The blackout doesn't care where your water comes from, only whether it's safe. And safety must be learned before the crisis, not during it. 11. Sanitation supplies, the most ignored necessity. When toilets fail, reality sharpens. Sanitation becomes survival. Buckets, contractor-grade bags, disinfectants, hand sanitizer, wipes, litter or lime for odor control, essential hygiene products. Because disease thrives where cleanliness dies, and emergencies magnify every oversight. Survival isn't just about staying fed and hydrated. It's about staying clean, healthy, functional. No sanitation, no stability. No stability, no survival. And here's the truth the darkness teaches. Every item on this list serves one purpose: to turn panic into competence. Blackouts test more than preparation. They test composure, decision-making, resourcefulness, patience, family dynamics, human nature. Those who prepare experience inconvenience. Those who don't experience crisis. When the lights fail, the difference between chaos and confidence is simple. The tools already waiting in the dark. Not because fear demanded them, but because wisdom whispered that modern life is fragile. And self-reliance is strength. Start small. Build slowly. Piece by piece, week by week. Because the grid will fail again. Maybe tonight. Maybe next month. Maybe in a storm that has no name yet. But when it does, the unprepared will wish. The prepared will endure. And the wise will thrive. Stay aware. Stay equipped. Stay ready. When the world goes dark, readiness becomes light.